Why me?
Researcher.
Because my master.
Resident Evil Requiem, the latest mainline entry in Capcom's long-running survival horror series, is finally here. Starring fan-favorite Leon Kennedy and newcomer Grace Ashcroft, the game promises thrills like never before. Resident Evil Requiem's campaign structure regularly switches between the perspectives of Leon and Grace, hence why you should familiarize yourself with key gameplay mechanics that differ between the two. Grace Ashcroft. Lacking heavy weaponry and ample ammunition, Grace's segments emphasize stealth and guile. Players must use the environment to distract foes and escape quickly, but caution is paramount. Enemies can track Grace's movements by sound, even through floors and ceilings. Leon Kennedy.
You there, Leon?
Leon provides the high-octane action fans expect. Equipped with firearms, chainsaws, and hatchets, Leon can perform signature melee moves like German suplexes and tactical parries. By default, Leon uses a third-person perspective and Grace uses a first-person perspective, which you can change in the settings section. This means that both characters have the option of first-person and third-person views. One important thing to note about Resident Evil Requiem is that sometimes it's best to avoid direct confrontation with the infected, especially if you don't have enough ammo to spare, and to look for alternate routes. If you really need to eliminate an enemy, you should choose the most threatening target. Some infected won't notice you initially. If possible, try to sneak up on them to land a killing blow. Grace can use the hemolytic injector to make a zombie explode into bits. If a zombie's head is still intact, it can mutate into a blister head later in the game. A blister head moves and attacks much faster than its previously deceased form. You need to unload a lot of shots into it just to bring it down. Some infected can wield various weapons, including polearms, clubs, firearms, and even chainsaws. The good news is you can use their own armaments against them. An enemy that's defeated or staggered will drop the weapon that it's carrying. Some objects can be thrown or swung around to damage nearby zombies. The girl is a nightmarish creature that you encounter several times during Grace's chapters. You can't just walk up to her and expect to survive. Your only choice is to run for your life. Thankfully, the girl has one major weakness: light. Look for well-lit rooms so you know where you need to go. Oh, and watch out for holes in the ceiling, as she can emerge from those nooks too. The aforementioned hatchet lets Leon go toe-to-toe against multiple hostiles. He can parry blows to negate damage and is able to sharpen the weapon if its durability is low. Grace gains access to a few melee weapons too, such as the makeshift knife. This can be used to stab and temporarily stagger opponents. An enemy that's staggered is vulnerable to a melee push, Grace, or martial arts kick, Leon. On the other hand, if you get grabbed, having a melee weapon lets you free yourself more quickly. How to craft hemolytic injector weapon. First, Grace must find blood samples scattered throughout the care center. She must analyze the blood samples with a laser microscope she finds throughout the game, and then use notes found along the way to find the ability to build a hemolytic injector weapon. Crafting in Resident Evil Requiem, at least during Grace's segments, requires gathering infected blood. First, you need to acquire the blood collector tool from the care center's blood lab. Once you have it, you can collect samples from the following sources: defeated enemies, certain zombies that you defeat leave behind blood spatters, environment. In certain locations, you might stumble upon bloodstains on the floor, buckets filled with blood, and even bathtubs that are overflowing with gory liquid. Transfusion bags. You might also find items known as transfusion bags. When used, these refill your blood collector up to a certain amount. Note that this cannot exceed the blood collector's current limit. There are 75 files scattered around numerous locations. Most have background lore to help you understand the story. Others offer more aid, such as documents that list the passcodes for locked safes, and those that provide clues related to puzzles. You can open and read the files you've discovered when interacting with puzzles, if needed.